You know, we've been privileged to tell the stories of many iconic individuals, and Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, Steve McQueen, most recently JFK Jr. Heath Ledger has been an individual that's been up on the wall in our office for a long time, and a lot of people around Network and our team, and Adrian and myself specifically, have always been fascinated with the idea of doing a film on him. And as we started to dig deeper into his story, it became much more evident that there was a richer story to tell beyond the actor and this, you know, this bright star within his own generation. We started to understand that he was a full artist, and we understood his passion for photography and film and music, and that really opened the door for us to say we got to capture this story. We got to bring the people in front of our cameras, and we need to create I Am Heath Ledger.
People are multifaceted. There's so much about ourselves and each other that we don't know. We're mysterious. You know, there's always something unknowable inside ourselves. And Heath was a very private person, so this was a very difficult decision for me to make. Mm-hmm. I felt that this movie could be an antidote to a lot of the trashy gossip that exists. This team was very respectful. We mended some fences along the way, brought people together. Mm. It was a very cathartic experience for a lot of people. I saw a lot of good come from the process, and I saw a lot of good come from the premiere last night and how the family feels about it. It was very important to me, and the family really loves it. And if this movie exists merely to help them turn the page, that's, I mean, I felt like I did have a responsibility. I didn't want to do it, but when Derek showed up in St. Louis and we finally had a conversation, and I investigated the company, I went up to visit them, loved them all, like the editors, the assistants, everybody that works at Network Entertainment is aces. And I had a great feeling about it.
We spent a lot of time just hanging out, just
yeah.
getting to know each other, mm-hmm. and talking about Heath and talking about all the experiences they'd had together before we even started making the film. Because, you know, there's so much, because he was such a private person and we wanted to tell a really intimate story, there's so much that we didn't know about him. And Matt was really the opening door to that. And then through Matt, we met Trevor DiCarlo, who was his good friend from childhood, and through Trevor we met Kane, and it was just sort of like one to the next, learning more about Heath from different perspectives. And that was really important, that the film was going to come from his friends and from people that were close to him and his family. So that, directing it, it was like a long conversation.
And I think what Matt also did was he opened the door for us to really be taken inside to the world of Heath with the camera. You know, we knew about it, and of course we knew about Masses, and that Matt and Heath had created together, and that led us to Matt. But once we started to see the content and the film and the photography that Heath had created through Matt, that was really an incredible high for everybody, because we really saw then that, as we've said in many situations, that we actually had another co-director in this film, which was Heath.
I met Heath his first night in Los Angeles. He moved in with me. I didn't have a choice. And the first thing we connected on, I saw him unpacking his bags, and he pulls out a framed photograph of this beautiful woman. And it was in a beautiful silver frame, and he puts it on a table in the room where he was going to stay. And I said, "Who is that?" He goes, "That's my mom." And I'm a mama's boy. You know, I'm Italian. It's, you know, and he has a gorgeous, beautiful, soulful mother. And so the first thing we connected on was that we're both mama's boys. And so that was a good connection to have right away. He had signed on for multiple Joker appearances, and he told me he did that to fund our movies at the Masses. He says, "I'm doing this for us so we can have enormous resources to make the movies we want to make." And he resented that he felt owned by Warner Brothers at that point. You know, he thought they should tattoo a barcode on him. You know, he was like, but he did it to get that kind of good fortune and money, he was going to make something grow from that. And we had ambitions to make, you know, lots and lots of movies. He felt very powerful in that part. He loved what he was doing, and I mean, it was challenging work. It expended a lot of energy from him, you know, in those scenes, but they paced it out pretty good. Like, he would do a scene and then they'd give him a week off, because they knew that when he was on, he was 200% on. So they paced him out in a reasonable way, you know, but it was just, he felt like he was at the top of his game when he made that movie, and he was, you know, thrilled with his own work. He knew that he was intimidating everybody he worked with, the actors, people coming up with a call sheet, they were like afraid to give it to him. You know, he just kind of kept that, people were amazed as he was doing it. And yeah, he knew it. He would call me after he would do like a day's worth of work, and he'd be like, you know, I'm so on top of it, you know? So I think it was like, you know, he was a huge fan of Marlon Brando. That was like his hero by the end. It started out with Gene Kelly, and then it became Marlon Brando. And I think he really did a Brando with Dark Knight.